Josh mindig megjutalmazza magát csokival a vizsgái után.
Josh always rewards himself with chocolate after his exams. Josh always rewards himself with chocolate after his exams.
Szerencsére átmentem az üzleti angol vizsgán kedden.
Fortunately, I passed my business English exam on Tuesday. Fortunately, I passed my business English exam on Tuesday.
Viszonylag nehéz megtanulni a kínai nyelvet.
It's relatively difficult to learn the Chinese language. It's relatively difficult to learn the Chinese language.
Azonnal észrevettem a furcsa viselkedését.
I noticed his strange behavior immediately. I noticed his strange behavior immediately.
Körülbelül fél órája várunk rád.
We have been waiting for you for about half an hour. We have been waiting for you for about half an hour.
A tavat 150 éves tölgyfák vették körül.
The lake was surrounded by 150-year-old oak trees. The lake was surrounded by 150-year-old oak trees.
A tejtermékek problémát okoznak a laktózérzékenyek számára.
Dairy products cause problems for lactose-intolerant people. Dairy products cause problems for lactose-intolerant people.
Még mindig Firenzében dolgozunk.
We are still working in Florence. We are still working in Florence.
Ideje elhagyni az épületet.
It's time to leave the building. It's time to leave the building.
A fiatal párok eljegyzési gyűrűt vesznek egymásnak.
Young couples buy engagement rings for each other. Young couples buy engagement rings for each other.
Nyitottabbnak kell lenned.
You need to be more open-minded. You need to be more open-minded.
Függője vagyok ennek az ausztrál sorozatnak.
I am addicted to this Australian series. I am addicted to this Australian series.
Váratlanul megjelent a színházi előadás közben.
Unexpectedly, he turned up during the play. Unexpectedly, he turned up during the play.
Kész vagyok kompromisszumot kötni.
I'm ready to make a compromise. I'm ready to make a compromise.
Rossz sávban vezetsz.
You are driving in the wrong lane. You are driving in the wrong lane.
Több erőfeszítést teszünk, hogy elérjük a céljainkat.
We make more effort to achieve our goals. We make more effort to achieve our goals.
Minden rokonom gluténérzékeny.
All my relatives are gluten intolerant. All my relatives are gluten intolerant.
A többi céggel összehasonlítva.
Compared to the other firms. Compared to the other firms.
Will egy régi módi nyakkendőt visel.
Will is wearing an old-fashioned tie. Will is wearing an old-fashioned tie.
Miért nem tudod abba hagyni a dohányzást?
Why can't you give up smoking? Why can't you give up smoking?
Minden augusztusban rendeznek egy virágkarnevált Debrecenben.
In every August, a flower carnival takes place in Debrecen. In every August, a flower carnival takes place in Debrecen.
A csokoládé elhízáshoz vezethet.
Chocolate can lead to obesity. Chocolate can lead to obesity.
Minden egyes alkalommal, amikor interjúra megyek.
Each time when I go to an interview. Each time when I go to an interview.
Ehhez a pozícióhoz 2 év tapasztalat szükséges.
This position requires 2 years' experience. This position requires 2 years' experience.
Állandóan ugyanazt a dolgot csinálja.
Do the same thing all the time. Do the same thing all the time.
Ha hosszabb távra utazol.
If you travel long distances. If you travel long distances.
Jobban tennénk, ha lefoglalnánk egy helyet.
We had better reserve a seat. We had better reserve a seat.
Éjfélkor várható, hogy megérkezik.
He is expected to arrive at midnight. He is expected to arrive at midnight.
Ígéretes jövő áll előtted.
There is a promising future ahead of you. There is a promising future ahead of you.
Nem kellett volna az autóban aludnod.
You needn't have slept in the car. You needn't have slept in the car.
Azok a feladatok meglepően könnyűek.
Those tasks are surprisingly easy. Those tasks are surprisingly easy.
Csak ábrándozás volt.
It was just wishful thinking. It was just wishful thinking.
Odadobni a labdát a többi gyereknek.
Throw the ball to the other children. Throw the ball to the other children.
Felveszem a kabátom, mert hideg van.
I'll put on my coat because it is cold. I'll put on my coat because it is cold.
Különösen élvezzük a latin zenét.
We particularly enjoy Latin music. We particularly enjoy Latin music.
Meg tudtam győzni az édesapámat.
I was able to convince my father. I was able to convince my father.
Sokáig fogok itt dolgozni.
I will be working here for a long time. I will be working here for a long time.
A másikat keresem.
I'm looking for the other one. I'm looking for the other one.
Casey sok növényre allergiás.
Casey is allergic to many plants. Casey is allergic to many plants.
Amint lehet.
As soon as possible, ASAP. As soon as possible, ASAP.
Minél fiatalabb vagy, annál könnyebben tanulsz.
The younger you are, the easier you learn. The younger you are, the easier you learn.
Ez az információ bizalmas.
This information is confidential. This information is confidential.
A nagyok jobban néznek ki.
The large ones look better. The large ones look better.
Elkerüli a barátjával való beszélgetést.
She avoids talking to her boyfriend. She avoids talking to her boyfriend.
Lefordítottak néhány cikket németre.
They translated some articles into German. They translated some articles into German.
Sürgettek, hogy fejezzem be a terveket.
They urged me to finish the plans. They urged me to finish the plans.
Grace hajlamos elfelejteni fontos dátumokat.
Grace tends to forget important dates. Grace tends to forget important dates.
Nem tudok koncentrálni, amikor beszélsz.
I can't concentrate when you are talking. I can't concentrate when you are talking.
A korai kezdés ellenére ott leszünk.
Despite the early start, we will be there. Despite the early start, we will be there.
Naponta 2-szer etetem meg a tibeti terrieremet.
I feed my Tibetan Terrier twice a day. I feed my Tibetan Terrier twice a day.
Mindig számíthatsz a barátaidra.
You can always count on your friends. You can always count on your friends.
A különleges igényű gyerekek.
Children with special needs. Children with special needs.
Összesen 3 perced van.
You have 3 minutes altogether. You have 3 minutes altogether.
Hetente 2-szer mosok.
I do the laundry twice a week. I do the laundry twice a week.
Tracynek nincs semmi akaratereje.
Tracy doesn't have any willpower. Tracy doesn't have any willpower.
A templommal szemben helyezkedik el.
It is situated opposite the church. It is situated opposite the church.
Alapjában véve.
Basically. Basically.
Sajnálom, nem akartalak félbeszakítani.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you.
Néhány embernek pszichológiai kezelésre van szüksége.
Some people need psychological treatment. Some people need psychological treatment.
Észszerűbb a legjobb minőséget választani.
It is more sensible to choose the best quality. It is more sensible to choose the best quality.
Emily tegnap megszabadult a tetoválásaitól.
Emily got rid of her tattoos yesterday. Emily got rid of her tattoos yesterday.
Meglep Lena döntése.
I am surprised by Lena's decision. I am surprised by Lena's decision.
Ez az étterem ínyenc ételeket kínál különleges borokkal.
This restaurant offers you gourmet food with special wines. This restaurant offers you gourmet food with special wines.
Jó bevásárlási és szórakozási lehetőségek.
Good shopping and entertainment facilities. Good shopping and entertainment facilities.
Személy szerint nem vagyok elégedett velük.
Personally, I am not pleased with them. Personally, I am not pleased with them.
Elkülöníteni a tojás sárgáját a fehérjétől.
Separate the egg yolk from the white. Separate the egg yolk from the white.
Meg tudnád kérlek újra ismételni a helyes választ?
Can you repeat the right answer again, please? Can you repeat the right answer again, please?
Kihívó feladat felnevelni egy gyereket.
Raising a child is a challenging task. Raising a child is a challenging task.
Az ingyen wifi széles körben elérhető a nagyvárosokban.
Free Wi-Fi is widely available in big cities. Free Wi-Fi is widely available in big cities.
Ha a tengeren túlra költözik.
If he moves overseas. If he moves overseas.
Végül eldöntöttük, hogy elmegyünk sétálni.
Finally, we decided to go for a walk. Finally, we decided to go for a walk.
Kiemelni a könyv főbb pontjait.
Highlight the main points of the book. Highlight the main points of the book.
Ez a dal tőle nagyon egyedi.
This song by him is very unique. This song by him is very unique.
Lehetővé tették számunkra.
They have made it possible for us. They have made it possible for us.
Megtiltani a dohányzást a közterületeken.
Ban smoking in public places. Ban smoking in public places.
Reggeli zsömlék helyett.
Instead of morning rolls. Instead of morning rolls.
Úgy viselkedik, mint egy magánnyomozó.
He behaves like a private investigator. He behaves like a private investigator.
Általában elégedett vagyok a szolgáltatással.
Normally, I am satisfied with the service. Normally, I am satisfied with the service.
Talán letelepedhetnénk ott.
Maybe we could settle there. Maybe we could settle there.
Egy óra hosszáig követték a piros autót.
They were following the red car for an hour. They were following the red car for an hour.
Az elhízás gyakori jelenség.
Obesity is a common phenomenon. Obesity is a common phenomenon.
Bill még nem érkezett meg.
Bill hasn't arrived yet. Bill hasn't arrived yet.
Megkönnyebbültem, mikor megtudtam a vizsgaeredményeimet.
I was relieved when I learned my exam results. I was relieved when I learned my exam results.
Sokat tudnak egymásról.
They know a lot about each other. They know a lot about each other.
Milyen fajta zenét szeretsz jobban?
What sort of music do you prefer? What sort of music do you prefer?
Reggel 6 órára állítják be az ébresztőt.
They set the alarm for 6 a.m. They set the alarm for 6 a.m.
Hetente egyszer ürítjük ki a kukát.
We empty the trash can once a week. We empty the trash can once a week.
Az egészségügyi problémák akadályozhatnak a vezetésben.
Health problems can hinder your driving. Health problems can hinder your driving.
Egyetértek, hogy rendkívül hasznos.
I agree that it is extremely helpful. I agree that it is extremely helpful.
Azt szeretném, hogy hamarosan látogass meg minket.
I want you to visit us soon. I want you to visit us soon.
Víz nélkül túlélni 3 napot.
Survive 3 days without water. Survive 3 days without water.
A fagyasztott étel kényelmes megoldás, különösen a háziasszonyoknak.
Frozen foods are convenient, especially for housewives. Frozen foods are convenient, especially for housewives.
Ezt a cikket le kell másolni nekem holnapra.
I need this article to be copied by tomorrow. I need this article to be copied by tomorrow.
Kit ismersz a pályázók között?
Who do you know among these applicants? Who do you know among these applicants?
Az útvonal kérdésére térve.
Turning to the question of the itinerary. Turning to the question of the itinerary.
Viktória jegyei fokozatosan javulnak.
Victoria's grades are gradually improving. Victoria's grades are gradually improving.
Nem bánom.
I don't mind. I don't mind.
Nincs értelme beszélni Margarettel.
It's no use speaking to Margaret. It's no use speaking to Margaret.
Belefáradtam a vitorlázásba.
I am tired of sailing. I am tired of sailing.
Naponta több ezer ember ingázik.
Thousands of people commute daily. Thousands of people commute daily.
A mangó sok vitamint biztosít számodra.
A mango provides you with a lot of vitamins. A mango provides you with a lot of vitamins.
Megnézni a helyi és nemzetközi híreket.
Watch the local and world news. Watch the local and world news.
Nem tudnék életben maradni egy lakatlan szigeten.
I couldn't survive on a desert island. I couldn't survive on a desert island.
Ijesztő élmény volt számunkra.
It was a frightening experience for us. It was a frightening experience for us.
A vadállatok száma nagy mértékben csökkent.
The number of wild animals has decreased greatly. The number of wild animals has decreased greatly.
Ez az oltás csak 2 percbe telik.
This vaccination only takes 2 minutes. This vaccination only takes 2 minutes.
Ez az egyetlen esélyed, hogy bebizonyítsd a tehetséged.
This is your only chance to prove your talent. This is your only chance to prove your talent.
Ártatlan volt és hittek neki.
He was innocent, and they believed him. He was innocent, and they believed him.
Bár csak megnyerte volna a versenyt.
I wish she had won the race. I wish she had won the race.
Megvitatni az ügyet.
Discuss the issue. Discuss the issue.
Cserébe.
In return. In return.
Nem engedhetem meg magamnak, hogy egy új autót vegyek.
I can't afford to buy a new car. I can't afford to buy a new car.
A bőrnadrágok még mindig divatosak.
Leather trousers are still fashionable. Leather trousers are still fashionable.
Ez a csatni hihetetlenül jó.
This fruit chutney is incredible. This fruit chutney is incredible.
Mindkét lánya.
Both of her daughters. Both of her daughters.
Még az eső után is ki akartam menni.
Even after the rain, I wanted to go outside. Even after the rain, I wanted to go outside.
Megvitatni a sátorban alvás előnyeit és hátrányait.
Discuss the pros and cons of sleeping in a tent. Discuss the pros and cons of sleeping in a tent.
Kertészkedni a nap hátralévő részében.
Do some gardening for the rest of the day. Do some gardening for the rest of the day.
Nincs különbség A és B között.
There is no difference between A and B. There is no difference between A and B.
Ahogy én látom.
As I see it. As I see it.
Tévés reklámok.
TV commercials. TV commercials.
A C-vitamin hiánynak számos tünete van.
Vitamin C deficiency has various symptoms. Vitamin C deficiency has various symptoms.
Bármikor is mész nyaralni, csatlakozom majd hozzád.
Whenever you go on holiday, I'll join you. Whenever you go on holiday, I'll join you.
Ezeknek a felhőkarcolóknak a tervezője.
The designer of these skyscrapers. The designer of these skyscrapers.
Megkaptad az e-mailt, amit küldtem neked?
Have you received the email I sent you? Have you received the email I sent you?
Sok tapasztalatot szereztem az önök cégénél.
I have gained a lot of experience at your company. I have gained a lot of experience at your company.
Mennyi időbe telik eljutni oda?
How long does it take to get there? How long does it take to get there?
Nem írhatnak tollal.
They mustn't write in ink. They mustn't write in ink.
Sok gyerek játszik hangszeren.
Many children play a musical instrument. Many children play a musical instrument.
Tudnád kisebb részekre osztani?
Could you divide it into smaller parts? Could you divide it into smaller parts?
Christophernek kevesebb pénzt kell költenie.
Christopher needs to spend less money. Christopher needs to spend less money.
Csak akkor veszek ki pénzt, amikor szükségem van rá.
I only withdraw money when I need some. I only withdraw money when I need some.
Szerencsére tudtam a boltban euróval fizetni.
Luckily, I could pay in euros in the store. Luckily, I could pay in euros in the store.
Ikreket fognak örökbe fogadni.
They are going to adopt twins. They are going to adopt twins.
Abszolút biztos vagyok benne.
I'm absolutely certain. I'm absolutely certain.
Még ehetsz is utazás közben.
You can even eat during your traveling. You can even eat during your traveling.
Ideje elindulnunk a reptérre.
It's time we left for the airport. It's time we left for the airport.
Nem szükséges lemosni az autót.
It's unnecessary to wash the car. It's unnecessary to wash the car.
Nincs több megjegyzésem.
I have no more comments. I have no more comments.
Soha nem fogják meg egymás kezét, nyilvánosság előtt.
They never hold hands in public. They never hold hands in public.
A munkaadó egy tudatos döntést hozott.
The employer made a conscious decision. The employer made a conscious decision.
Egy részről, más részről.
On the one hand, on the other hand. On the one hand, on the other hand.
Ámulatba ejtő a táj Toszkánában.
The landscape in Tuscany is awesome. The landscape in Tuscany is awesome.
A viselkedésed következményei.
The consequences of your behavior. The consequences of your behavior.
Mennyibe kerül ma az üzemanyag?
How much does petrol cost today? How much does petrol cost today?
A hibrid autók nagyon népszerűek.
Hybrid cars are extremely popular. Hybrid cars are extremely popular.
Anélkül hagyta el a házat, hogy bármit is mondott volna.
He left the house without saying anything. He left the house without saying anything.
Ki ismer téged ezek közül a pályázók közül?
Who knows you among these applicants? Who knows you among these applicants?
Az elmúlt évtizedek alatt.
Over the last decades. Over the last decades.
Egy híres mondás azt állítja, hogy a tudás hatalom.
A famous saying claims that knowledge is power. A famous saying claims that knowledge is power.
Mérnöki szakértelme kiemelkedő.
His expertise in engineering is outstanding. His expertise in engineering is outstanding.
Egy éves sporteseményt szervezni.
Organize an annual sporting event. Organize an annual sporting event.
A repülő délután 2:30 érkezik.
The plane lands at 2:30 p.m. The plane lands at 2:30 p.m.
A drogok használata törvénytelen a legtöbb országban.
Using drugs is illegal in most countries. Using drugs is illegal in most countries.
Nem tudom, hogy fent van-e már vagy sem.
I don't know if she is awake or not. I don't know if she is awake or not.
A dalod mély benyomást tett rám.
Your song made a deep impression on me. Your song made a deep impression on me.
Nincs kedvem futni.
I don't feel like running. I don't feel like running.
Bárhová is megyek, viszem a napszemüvegem.
I take my sunglasses wherever I go. I take my sunglasses wherever I go.
Az én szemszögemből nézve.
From my point of view. From my point of view.
Kíváncsi vagyok, miért hagyta ott a játékot.
I am curious why she left the game. I am curious why she left the game.
Könyvek rendelésére használni az internetet.
Use the internet for ordering books. Use the internet for ordering books.
A cégek megegyezésre jutottak.
The firms came to an agreement. The firms came to an agreement.
Jenny felmegy a szobájába.
Jenny goes upstairs to her room. Jenny goes upstairs to her room.
Túl késő volt ahhoz, hogy elhagyjuk az épületet.
It was too late for us to leave the building. It was too late for us to leave the building.
Derek használt autókkal foglalkozik.
Derek works with second-hand cars. Derek works with second-hand cars.
Agysebészként Sherlock egy vagyont keres.
Sherlock earns a fortune as a brain surgeon. Sherlock earns a fortune as a brain surgeon.
Dóra ösztönösen tudja, hogy mikor kell felkelnie.
Dora knows instinctively when to wake up. Dora knows instinctively when to wake up.
A legtöbb esetben.
In most cases. In most cases.
Az apósom tapasztalt sofőr.
My father-in-law is an experienced driver. My father-in-law is an experienced driver.
Most máshogy néz ki, mint tegnap.
She looks different now than she did yesterday. She looks different now than she did yesterday.
A hamburger meglehetősen hízlaló.
Hamburgers are quite fattening. Hamburgers are quite fattening.
Kitűzni egy célt a következő évre.
Set a goal for the next year. Set a goal for the next year.
Mellesleg.
By the way. By the way.
Részmunkaidős állásom van.
I have a part-time job. I have a part-time job.
William mindig nagyon kedves az unokaöccséhez.
William is always very kind to his nephew. William is always very kind to his nephew.
A gyár tavaly nyereséges volt.
The factory was profitable last year. The factory was profitable last year.
Szeretnék egy képet csináltatni.
I would like to have a photo taken. I would like to have a photo taken.
A kedvességednek maradandó hatása van.
Your kindness has a lasting benefit. Your kindness has a lasting benefit.
A 12. kerületben.
In the 12th district. In the 12th district.
Ha több időm lenne.
If I had more time. If I had more time.
Drew tanácsot kért tőlem.
Drew asked for my advice. Drew asked for my advice.
Pihenni egy 5 csillagos hotelben.
Relax in a 5-star hotel. Relax in a 5-star hotel.
Gyorshajtásért büntették meg.
He was fined for speeding. He was fined for speeding.
Mivel már ismerem a feltételeket.
Since I already know the conditions. Since I already know the conditions.
Megérkezni Olaszországba.
Arrive in Italy. Arrive in Italy.
Időközben.
In the meantime. In the meantime.
A bankszámlámról pénzt utalni.
Transfer money from my bank account. Transfer money from my bank account.
Nem akarunk benneteket egyedül hagyni.
We don't want to leave you alone. We don't want to leave you alone.
Óvatosan kinyitottam a dobozt.
I opened the box carefully. I opened the box carefully.
Valaha dohányoztam.
I used to smoke. I used to smoke.
Van valami közös bennük.
They have something in common. They have something in common.
Bolti lopással vádolják.
He is accused of shoplifting. He is accused of shoplifting.
Nagyszerűen halad az új munkájával.
She is getting on very well in her new job. She is getting on very well in her new job.
Nem lehetsz türelmetlen a vevőiddel.
You can't be impatient with your customers. You can't be impatient with your customers.
Kölcsönkérhetem az autódat egy pár órára?
Can I borrow your car for a few hours? Can I borrow your car for a few hours?
Ha ezt tudtam volna.
If I had known that. If I had known that.
Rozinak üres a gyomra.
Rosie's stomach is empty. Rosie's stomach is empty.
Néha kételkedő vagyok az online vásárlásokkal kapcsolatban.
Sometimes I am skeptical about online purchases. Sometimes I am skeptical about online purchases.
Amit már nem használok többé.
That I don't use anymore. That I don't use anymore.
A fájdalom teljesen elmúlt.
The pain completely disappeared. The pain completely disappeared.
Tudatában vagyok.
I am aware of that. I am aware of that.
Az a sós karamella ellenállhatatlan volt.
That salty caramel was irresistible. That salty caramel was irresistible.
Vígjátékokat nézni nagyon szórakoztató.
Watching comedies is extremely entertaining. Watching comedies is extremely entertaining.
Beállíthatod a film nyelvét.
You can set the language of the film. You can set the language of the film.
Alig tudtuk őket megtalálni.
We could hardly find them. We could hardly find them.
Gyakran megnézem a képeidet.
I often have a look at your pictures. I often have a look at your pictures.
Mindenkinek tetszett az ötlet Ronaldon kívül.
Everybody liked the idea, except for Ronald. Everybody liked the idea, except for Ronald.
Eléred a célod.
Achieve your goal. Achieve your goal.
Üzleti útra menni.
Go on a business trip. Go on a business trip.
Össze vagyok zavarodva, ez túl sok információ.
I am confused. This is too much information. I am confused. This is too much information.
Tagadják az igazságot.
They deny the truth. They deny the truth.
Mindhárman kollégiumban laknak.
All three of them live in a dormitory. All three of them live in a dormitory.
Két 20 éves egyetemi diák.
Two 20-year-old university students. Two 20-year-old university students.
Nedves a kabátom, úgyhogy leveszem.
My coat is wet, so I'll take it off. My coat is wet, so I'll take it off.
Időbe telik elkészíteni egy ízletes ételt.
It takes a while to prepare a tasty meal. It takes a while to prepare a tasty meal.
El kellene kerülnöd a zavarba ejtő kérdéseket.
You should avoid embarrassing questions. You should avoid embarrassing questions.
A legközelebbi benzinkút.
The nearest gas station. The nearest gas station.
Lehetetlen 2 óra alatt lefutni a maratont.
It's impossible to run the marathon in 2 hours. It's impossible to run the marathon in 2 hours.
Minden országnak van egy nemzeti zászlója.
Every country has a national flag. Every country has a national flag.
Jobban szeretem a bátorító idézeteket.
I prefer encouraging quotes. I prefer encouraging quotes.
Kézzel készített karácsonyi ajándék.
Handmade Christmas gift. Handmade Christmas gift.
A győztes sok dicséretet kapott.
The winner received plenty of compliments. The winner received plenty of compliments.
Előfizetek néhány havonta megjelenő magazinra.
I subscribe to some monthly magazines. I subscribe to some monthly magazines.
Örömmel megosztanám veled a vacsorámat.
I would gladly share my dinner with you. I would gladly share my dinner with you.
Sem Susannek, sem Alexnek nem tetszett a film.
Neither Susan nor Alex liked the movie. Neither Susan nor Alex liked the movie.
Egy hétvégi kirándulásra elmenni.
Go on a weekend trip. Go on a weekend trip.
Sok időbe telik elolvasni.
It takes a long time to read it. It takes a long time to read it.
Amint leszálltam a vonatról.
As soon as I got off the train. As soon as I got off the train.
Serena átmegy a hídon minden este.
Serena crosses the bridge every evening. Serena crosses the bridge every evening.
A sebességhatáron belül vezettem.
I was driving within the speed limit. I was driving within the speed limit.
Ez a feladat nagyon bonyolult.
This task is very complicated. This task is very complicated.
Most nem megyek sétálni.
I am not going for a walk now. I am not going for a walk now.
Az első benyomás nagyon fontos.
First impressions are very important. First impressions are very important.
Érdekes információkat tölthetsz le.
You can download interesting information. You can download interesting information.
Caleb tudja a papírmunkát kezelni.
Caleb can handle the paperwork. Caleb can handle the paperwork.
Vigyázz, mit mondasz.
Be careful what you say. Be careful what you say.
Már ellátogattunk Olaszország északi részére.
We have already visited the north of Italy. We have already visited the north of Italy.
Joel gyógyszert szed a gyomorfekélyére.
Joel takes medicine for his stomach ulcer. Joel takes medicine for his stomach ulcer.
Megkértek, hogy énekeljem el a nemzeti himnuszt.
They asked me to sing the national anthem. They asked me to sing the national anthem.
Az elmúlt pár évben.
In the last few years. In the last few years.
Lehet, hogy kicserélem ezt az övet.
I may replace this belt. I may replace this belt.
Robert tekintélyes mennyiségű tapasztalatot szerzett.
Robert has gained considerable experience. Robert has gained considerable experience.
Állandóan megosztott videókat néznek.
They watch shared videos all the time. They watch shared videos all the time.
A legjobb kifogás, hogy elkerüld a házi munkát.
The best excuse to avoid housework. The best excuse to avoid housework.
Először is szeretnék bemutatkozni.
First of all, I want to introduce myself. First of all, I want to introduce myself.
Róma érdekes látványosságokat kínál.
Rome offers interesting sights. Rome offers interesting sights.
Bárhová is megy, mindig honvágya van.
Wherever she goes, she is always homesick. Wherever she goes, she is always homesick.
Lassan, de biztosan.
Slowly but surely. Slowly but surely.
Az előtted lévő jármű.
The vehicle in front of you. The vehicle in front of you.
Ez messze a legnehezebb táska.
It is by far the heaviest bag. It is by far the heaviest bag.
Odafigyelni a tanárra.
Pay attention to the teacher. Pay attention to the teacher.
Miután Archibald túljutott a kezdeti félelmein.
After Archibald got over his initial fears, after Archibald got over his initial fears,
Ingyen látogathatod a katedrálist.
you can visit the cathedral free of charge. You can visit the cathedral free of charge.
Mindenkinek szüksége van bátorító szavakra.
Everybody needs encouraging words. Everybody needs encouraging words.
Őszintén szólva, szerintem...
Quite honestly, I think. Quite honestly, I think.
Bármennyi pénzt is keresel.
No matter how much you earn. No matter how much you earn.
Egy 10 perces szünet.
A 10-minute break. A 10-minute break.
Minden felújítást ő maga végez el.
She carries out all the renovations by herself. She carries out all the renovations by herself.
Egy ház megépítése nagyon összetett feladat.
Building a house is a very complex task. Building a house is a very complex task.
Súlyos szárazság.
A serious drought. A serious drought.
Pontosan beszélni a nyelvet.
Speak the language accurately. Speak the language accurately.
A kutyák terápiás ereje.
The therapeutic power of dogs. The therapeutic power of dogs.
Néhányan közülük.
A few of them. A few of them.
A hűség egy értékes tulajdonság.
Loyalty is a valuable feature. Loyalty is a valuable feature.
Egyetértesz velem?
Do you agree with me? Do you agree with me?
Tandíjat kell fizetned.
You have to pay tuition fee. You have to pay tuition fee.
Az összes utas a vonaton.
All the passengers on the train. All the passengers on the train.
Nagyszerű hírneve van.
He has a great reputation. He has a great reputation.
Bárhová is költözöl.
No matter where you move. No matter where you move.
Ritkán veszek részt társasági eseményeken.
I rarely take part in social events. I rarely take part in social events.
Gondolkodtam rajta.
I have been thinking about it. I have been thinking about it.
20 percen belül.
Within 20 minutes. Within 20 minutes.
Segítek neked becsomagolni az ajándékokat.
I help you wrap the gifts. I help you wrap the gifts.
Az ár magában foglalja.
The price includes. The price includes.
Hallottad a robbanást?
Did you hear the explosion? Did you hear the explosion?
Közösségi oldalak.
Social networking sites. Social networking sites.
A tökéletes megoldás.
The perfect solution. The perfect solution.
A belvárosba menni.
Go downtown. Go downtown.
A nap végére.
By the end of the day. By the end of the day.
Abba hagytam a dohányzást.
I stopped smoking. I stopped smoking.
Hozzá vagyok szokva a korai keléshez.
I am used to waking up early. I am used to waking up early.
Kicsit kínosan éreztem magam.
I felt a bit awkward. I felt a bit awkward.
Néhány kérdéssel foglalkozni.
Deal with some issues. Deal with some issues.
Elhalasztani a konferenciát.
Put off the conference. Put off the conference.
Az emberek a munkahelyemen.
The people at my workplace. The people at my workplace.
Hálás vagyok a segítségedért.
I am grateful for your help. I am grateful for your help.
Annak a karórának a birtokosa.
The owner of that watch. The owner of that watch.
Tartozol neki $5.
You owe him $5. You owe him $5.
A Kressz szabályai.
The rules of the highway code. The rules of the highway code.
Rád gondolok most.
I'm thinking of you now. I'm thinking of you now.
Néhány recept szerint.
According to some recipes. According to some recipes.
Bármit is írsz a lapra.
Whatever you write on the paper. Whatever you write on the paper.
Ennek az utcának a szélessége.
The width of this street. The width of this street.
A nyugdíjasoknak több idejük van.
Pensioners have more time. Pensioners have more time.
A recepciós segítségével.
With the help of the receptionist. With the help of the receptionist.
A lakosság 20%-a.
20% of the population. 20% of the population.
Dr. Kohut egy jól ismert fogorvos.
Dr. Kohut is a well-known dentist. Dr. Kohut is a well-known dentist.
Párizs széles utcái.
The wide streets of Paris. The wide streets of Paris.
Késik a vonatuk.
Their train has been delayed. Their train has been delayed.
Ha tudnám a választ.
If I knew the answer. If I knew the answer.
Eléggé izgalmas.
It's pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting.
Felújítani egy régi épületet.
Renovate an old building. Renovate an old building.
Megpróbálok szervezni egy találkozót.
I try to organize a meeting. I try to organize a meeting.
Lefoglalni egy asztalt egy étteremben.
Reserve a table at a restaurant. Reserve a table at a restaurant.
A lányok gyakran a nagynénjükre hasonlítanak.
Girls often take after their aunts. Girls often take after their aunts.
Amíg itt vagy.
As long as you are here. As long as you are here.
Szórólapokat osztani szét az utcákon.
Hand out leaflets in the streets. Hand out leaflets in the streets.
Végül megbocsátottak neki.
They forgave her in the end. They forgave her in the end.
Egyáltalán nem vagyok csalódott.
I am not disappointed at all. I am not disappointed at all.
Adományokat gyűjteni.
Collect donations. Collect donations.
A második világháborúról szól.
It is about the Second World War. It is about the Second World War.
Olyan hatékony, mint egy injekció.
As effective as an injection. As effective as an injection.
Az egyik legszebb élményem.
One of my best memories. One of my best memories.
Az épületen belül.
Inside the building. Inside the building.
Körülbelül havonta 2-szer.
About twice a month. About twice a month.
A te ötleted sokkal jobb.
Your idea is much better. Your idea is much better.
Letartóztatni a betörőt.
Arrest the burglar. Arrest the burglar.
Alig várom, hogy újra találkozzunk.
I can't wait to meet you again. I can't wait to meet you again.
A támogatásod nélkül nem boldogulok.
I can't manage without your support. I can't manage without your support.
Ritkán kapnak hóvihart Spanyolországban.
They rarely have snowstorms in Spain. They rarely have snowstorms in Spain.
Az én felelősségem, hogy...
It is my responsibility to. It is my responsibility to.
Egész nap alig dolgoznak.
They hardly work all day. They hardly work all day.
Rákcsálnivalót enni a film alatt.
Eat snacks during the film. Eat snacks during the film.
A körülmények miatt.
Due to the circumstances. Due to the circumstances.
Az előző munkahelyemen.
At my previous workplace. At my previous workplace.
A fajta tiszta kutyák, mint például a labradorok.
Purebred dogs, such as Labradors. Purebred dogs, such as Labradors.
Betartani a határidőt.
Keep the deadline. Keep the deadline.
Mitől vagy jó férj?
What makes you a good husband? What makes you a good husband?
Az idegen nyelvekre összpontosítok.
I focus on foreign languages. I focus on foreign languages.
Külföldi tévécsatornákat nézni.
Watch foreign TV channels. Watch foreign TV channels.
Van egy papír zsebkendőd?
Do you have a tissue? Do you have a tissue?
Jól teljesít az iskolában.
Do well at school. Do well at school.
Képeket készíteni a helyről.
Take photos of the place. Take photos of the place.
Ragaszkodom hozzá, hogy én fizessek.
I insist on paying. I insist on paying.
Ha csak sok pénzt nem keresek.
Unless I earn a lot of money. Unless I earn a lot of money.
Folyékonyan beszélek németül.
I speak German fluently. I speak German fluently.
A nap este 9 körül megy le.
The sun sets around 9 p.m. The sun sets around 9 p.m.
A következetességben rejlik az erő.
In consistency lies the power. In consistency lies the power.
Mielőtt megeszed a 10 óraidat.
Before you eat your 11s. Before you eat your 11s.
Két héten belül kész leszek.
I'll be ready within 2 weeks. I'll be ready within 2 weeks.
Tanácsot kap valamivel kapcsolatban.
Receive some advice about. Receive some advice about.
A probléma oka ismeretlen.
The cause of the problem is unknown. The cause of the problem is unknown.
Előre is köszönöm a segítséged.
Thank you for your help in advance. Thank you for your help in advance.
A szomszédos városokban.
In the neighboring towns. In the neighboring towns.
Kevesebb, mint 4 óráig tartott.
It lasted less than 4 hours. It lasted less than 4 hours.
Csináltunk egy kísérletet kémia órán.
We did an experiment in chemistry class. We did an experiment in chemistry class.
Ami engem illet,
As far as I'm concerned, as far as I'm concerned,
láttad mostanában Naomit?
have you seen Naomi lately? Have you seen Naomi lately?
Mindig számíthatsz rám.
You can always count on me. You can always count on me.
Akár tetszik, akár nem.
Whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not.
A vállások száma magas.
The number of divorces is high. The number of divorces is high.
Hallottam a gyilkosságról.
I have heard about the murder. I have heard about the murder.
Nagyon lassan dolgoznak.
They work very slowly. They work very slowly.
többet pihentem volna.
I would have rested more. I would have rested more.
Az este hátralevő része.
The rest of the evening. The rest of the evening.
Nem tudom eldönteni, hogy mit vegyek.
I can't decide what to buy. I can't decide what to buy.
Ez egy kemény döntés.
A tough decision. A tough decision.
Bárcsak lenne egy macskám.
I wish I had a cat. I wish I had a cat.
A hó miatt panaszkodni.
Complain about the snow. Complain about the snow.
A vezetőknek következeteseknek kell lenniük.
Leaders have to be consistent. Leaders have to be consistent.
Helyesnek tartjuk az ötletedet.
We approve of your idea. We approve of your idea.
Az a recept nem csak vegán, hanem alacsony szénhidrát tartalmú is.
That recipe is not only vegan, but also low carb. That recipe is not only vegan, but also low carb.
Nem gondoltam, hogy a macska leugrik a tetőről.
I didn't think the cat would jump off the roof. I didn't think the cat would jump off the roof.
Keverd meg a teádat, mert a cukor a csésze alján van.
Stir your tea, because the sugar is at the bottom of the cup. Stir your tea, because the sugar is at the bottom of the cup.
Nagyon kevés ember van, aki nem iszik kávét.
There are very few people who don't drink coffee. There are very few people who don't drink coffee.